Hey my friends, so we are currently editing my second book, Dying with Regrets. So I'm going to pick up from where we last left off, which was talking about how gratitude literally changed my life. So I'm going to continue with the gratitude part now, and then we're going to move on to the next part where I set myself free from my own mind and then started to progress with my life. So just realise that true happiness isn't getting what you want, but is wanting what you've already got. And gratitude makes certain that what you have is enough. Because you can never be angry and grateful at the exact same time. So from then on, I stopped counting all my problems and started counting all my blessings. I stopped looking at what I thought I was losing and started focusing on everything which I was potentially gaining. Back then, all I had focused on was losing my house and losing my girlfriend. However, I later realised that the worst things that happen in your life can also turn out to become the very best things. Sometimes your most profound periods of pain can also turn out to be your greatest gifts of growth. Again, I made the conscious decision to shift my mindset to look at all the future positive potential opportunities I had and realise that I now had a fresh blank page to paint on and start designing the life of my dreams. Although I was still feeling a bit down, by practicing this daily gratitude, I noticed a big change shift within myself. Day-to-day life didn't seem as difficult, and as soon as a negative thought came in, I would replace it straight away with, at least I'm still alive, after coming to the realisation that the ground we walk on today could be our roof tomorrow. The thought of not making it through my trauma overpowered any other negative thought I had. From then on, I noticed lots of small positive things happening in my life. It felt as if I had become a positivity magnet, and the more I was happy for the things I had, the more positive things came my way. Before you know it, I had finally received a release date from the prison I was trapped in. Although I would still break down and cry for no apparent reason, things were slowly starting to become better as I was moving forward in life. As soon as I felt crap, I would practice gratitude, because gratitude turns what you already have into enough. So don't forget to be grateful for everything you have whilst working for everything you want. You don't have to die first to go to heaven, when you can choose to create your very own heaven with the life you have here on earth. You do this by the thoughts you decide to think and the actions you decide to take. Just know that life can feel crap sometimes, but trust me, it can be a whole lot worse. There is someone out there who would love to live your worst day. So stop counting all your problems and start counting your blessings. I think I've done that twice. I want to highlight that one. Understand that there is no good or bad in life, but only what our mind tells us and what we choose to believe. It's all about our personal perceived story, which is the story we are telling ourselves about a specific event and the meaning we have given it. Because in life, it's not usually the experience or event itself that causes us the pain, but it's normally what we choose to make it mean. Our perception shapes our reality, and is normally how we think about the issue, which is the real issue. If you find yourself in a real crap situation, similar to the ones which I went through, I'm telling you to never give up on yourself, because you are so worth working on. Even if you don't feel like it right now, I want to remind you that you are amazing just the way you are, and that you can still become so much more. Because you are the greatest project you'll ever work on. So don't ever suffer in silence. Reach out to someone, because there are so many people out there who will want to help you. As long as you still have breath in your lungs, then you can take the required steps to turn your life around. Please believe me when I say that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And you should never make a permanent decision based on a temporary feeling in any area of your life. Because when emotion is high, logic is low. You can literally transform your life with a single letter change, and that is replacing got with get. Because when you feel like you've got to do something, you usually have choice. let me say that again. Because when you feel like you got to do something, you usually have choice and should start being grateful that you actually get to do it. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Okay, my friend, next chapter. The day I was set free. Due to no fault of my own, I was rushing around trying to pack all my belongings into boxes once I arrived home from work that evening. I was sweating buckets trying to load everything into the back of the van to take back over to my parents' house. And in that moment, I understood the true meaning of failing to prepare is actually preparing to fail. Finally, at midnight, I had put the last couple of items in the back of the van and was ready to start the next chapter of my life. I had one last scan around the house to make sure I had not forgotten anything, and now it was time to go. I stood there and said thank you to the home for all the memories, both previously perceived good and bad. I closed the front door for the very last time, and in doing so, locking all the memories inside. I took a deep breath, opened the letterbox and posted the key back through. I sat in the van and began to drive, but I felt extremely overwhelmed knowing that I had just started a completely new phase of my life. And that every single choice I made from now on would be chosen by me, for me. As I was driving, I suddenly started to repeat the words, Ryan, everything is going to be okay. This is not the ending. This is just the beginning. But what on earth was I going to do now? I felt that I needed to set myself some sort of challenge, so I did. I told myself that I would visit a different country every single month for a complete year. This made me feel so great inside, and I was then overflowing with joy and happiness. The radio went on full volume and I was whacking the steering wheel to the beat as hard as I could. I felt amazing. Just remember that in life you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. So I'm going to leave it there, my friends. Thank you so much. If you want to get yourself on the wait list, visit dyingwithregrets.ryannurse.com. Speak soon. See you on the next one. Bye bye.